Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video we're discussing Xbox and exclusivity because some recent details have come out and the whole FTC thing that's been going on. Obviously that's been a very huge deal as of late, but I want to focus in on one little detail that I thought was pretty damn interesting. So let's get into it. So exclusivity has been a very hot topic for Xbox as of the last, I don't know, 3 years, ever since they bought Bethesda, really. I mean, they bought Bethesda. Phil's come out and said it a few times. I mean, he hinted at it before he even really could that games would be exclusive. And then you look back to last week, we got the confirmation in this FTC trial that Indiana Jones is exclusive to Xbox and PC, which is really interesting because I gotta be honest, I was not expecting that to be the case. And according to all reports, the deal that Zenimax and Disney had for Indiana Jones did include all platforms, but apparently Microsoft went in after the acquisition and made another deal to make it Xbox and PC only, which, does make sense. I can't really fault them for it, but looking at that, it kind of made me think, okay, that means everything is exclusive. Now, I was already kind of thinking that. I think everybody kind of already thought that. We kind of just assumed it, right? But if Indiana Jones is exclusive, then that kind of just solidifies everything else as exclusive, at least in my opinion. You look at Elder Scrolls 6, likely exclusive. Wolfenstein 3, likely exclusive. Whatever it is working on next, whether that's a new Doom, which it's probably not, but whatever they're working on next, likely exclusive. Fallout 5, likely exclusive. If they ever do a New Vegas remaster or remake or whatever, New Vegas 2, likely exclusive. And guys, this isn't speculation on my part because we've actually got evidence today suggesting, or I guess solidifying, that everything ZeniMax owned going forward will be exclusive. And of course, this information is coming from the Microsoft versus FTC hearing, and this is an article from IGN over on their website. It says Xbox's Phil Spencer seemingly decided to make all ZeniMax games exclusive in a 2021 meeting. So let's go ahead and go through this article real quick. It says Phil Spencer apparently made a big decision to make all ZeniMax games Xbox exclusive in a November 2021 meeting. This reveal came to light as part of the final day of testimony in this week's Microsoft FTC hearing. During Xbox CFO Tim Stewart's time on the witness stand, the FTC called attention to a chat conversation from November 2021 between Stewart and Xbox's Matt Booty. The two were messaging about a recent monthly business review meeting between Xbox and ZeniMax, where Spencer apparently made the call to make all ZeniMax games exclusive going forward, not just new IP. Stewart was asking Booty about what happened during the meeting. He says, all games going forward, Stewart asked. Not just new IP, but all games going forward. Wow. And like I was saying earlier, this isn't something that is really news to me. It's nice to have the confirmation, like officially, actually, but it's not really news. I mean, I feel like everybody expected this. This is kind of what we all just assumed was happening anyway. But I guess the point is that hearing it brought up in a court case and having it actually confirmed in that manner is kind of nice. It's kind of nice to know now. But it seems like there would obviously be no confusion going forward about this. But it does raise the question, well, if Microsoft was to acquire Activision Blizzard, what's to stop them from doing the exact same thing they did with ZeniMax here? And I'm not somebody who's really keeping up to date with everything on the ABK acquisition. Now, I log into Twitter, I see it on my timeline, I see the quotes from court and all that stuff, and that's funny and entertaining and all that, but I'm not really going out of my way to keep up with this stuff. What I will say, however, is as someone who has no degree in business, it doesn't make sense to do the same thing with Activision Blizzard, and let me explain. I mean, we're over here on ZeniMax's website. Now, they have a library of their games here. I just already went through this. This library doesn't cover their whole games, but just let's take a look real quick. They've got Elder Scrolls, obviously, Fallout, obviously, Doom, another obvious one. Rage, I'm pretty sure that's a dead IP at this point. Then you've also got Elder Scrolls Online, Prey, you got Elder Scrolls Legends, which, mobile game, nothing wrong with that. Dishonored, Wolfenstein, The Evil Within, Quake. There's obviously more. We've gotten new additions to that since this thing was made, whenever that was. Obviously, you got Ghostwire Tokyo, Deathloop, things like Hi-Fi Rush. There's a bunch of games that have been added to this specific list. Indiana Jones, since this whole thing went up. Whether ZeniMax likes to acknowledge it or not, or Xbox likes to acknowledge it or not, they just added Redfall to that list. In September, they will be adding Starfield to that list. So it's a growing list of games, right? But when you think about all of those games, what do about 90% of them have in common? They're all single player. It's kind of a one-time purchase. Obviously, you buy DLCs for Elder Scrolls, you buy DLCs for Fallout. You might get some DLCs for Wolfenstein. I know Wolfenstein 2 did that as well. Like, ZeniMax doesn't specialize in multiplayer games, and they're not typically hugely successful in multiplayer. Outside of, Elder Scrolls Online is now a very successful game, very popular. It's actually a pretty fun time. I highly recommend checking it out. Then you got Fallout 76, which, we know how that game launched, right? But you look at where it is now, it's respectable. You can hop in, you can have fun with friends, it's a good time. But other than those success stories, if you want to call them that, they've got a few stinkers when it comes to multiplayer. They've got, obviously, we just launched Redfall. It's not in the best state right now. And then you've got a game like Wolfenstein Youngblood, which launched very well optimized. It was a very well optimized game. It was Wolfenstein Combat. It was fun, but nobody asked for a Wolfenstein multiplayer game. We all wanted Wolfenstein 3, and they gave us Youngblood. I feel like when Microsoft acquired Bethesda was in a weird position. I say Bethesda, but it's ZeniMax. I'm always talking about ZeniMax when I say Bethesda. I gotta stop that. But when they acquired ZeniMax, they were in a weird position. ZeniMax was trying to cash in on what the latest trends were for gaming at that time, and they still are those trends, honestly. And you look at what it is, it's stuff like Apex Legends. It's stuff like just being able to get continuous money from your player base and just one game. Now, obviously, you've got success stories. Fortnite is never going to stop, or at least it doesn't feel like it's ever going to stop. Apex Legends hit the scene. It's not going to stop, right? You got Warzone. It hit the scene. It ain't stopping, right? And so ZeniMax saw this, and obviously, being a business, their first thought was, whoa, that's a lot of fucking money, right? I don't think there's anything that is a better indicator of where ZeniMax was before Microsoft acquired them than this trailer right here. And if you're not aware what this trailer is, you're seeing it right now. It's obviously Fallout, but let's fast forward it a little bit. See that? Nuclear Winter. Fallout 76, Nuclear Winter. Now, if you're not familiar with what Nuclear Winter is for Fallout 76, it was Bethesda trying to cash in on the Battle Royale craze. And it was terrible. It was horrible. Nobody liked it. I played it once, and it was one of the worst things I've ever played in my life. But the fact is, before Microsoft stepped in and acquired them, that was the situation that ZeniMax was in. That was the future they were leaning towards. And thank God Microsoft stepped in and acquired them, and now they don't have to worry about money or finances or anything. They don't gotta make games that cater to these weird trends that come and go and fluctuate. And now ZeniMax can focus on what ZeniMax does best. Now, obviously, ZeniMax Online, they do multiplayer, and they do it well, right? But you look at all these other studios, a lot of them nail single-player experiences. You look at Bethesda with the Fallout RPGs, with Elder Scrolls. We're going to have Starfield this September. You look at something like Machine Games with Wolfenstein rebooted last generation. Phenomenal games. They're also working on Indiana Jones, obviously. You look at a studio like id Software offering some of the best single-player campaigns of last generation with Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Tango Gameworks, you've got Arcane. All of these studios focus in on typically single-player experiences. And this is why ZeniMax and Activision Blizzard are two entirely separate things. Because look at the games that Activision Blizzard makes. Obviously, there's Call of Duty. That's the thing that people are really arguing over. That's the big focus, is Call of Duty. Call of Duty and Warzone. Live service games. Diablo, live service. Overwatch, live service. World of Warcraft, live service. There's not many games that these studios make that aren't a live service. Even Crash Bandicoot's coming back, but it's Crash Team Rumble or whatever. It's a live service game going to all platforms. And guys, I said it earlier in the video, I'm not a business major. I don't know anything about business at that level. I couldn't fathom it. But all I'm doing, really, is just using common sense. The kind of games that Activision Blizzard makes make sense to be on as many platforms as possible. Not only not taking it away from PlayStation, add those games to Nintendo on a consistent basis. Add those games anywhere you possibly can to get the most money back from those games because they are live services. That's why Microsoft has no issue signing a deal with literally everybody who has a pen to bring these games to their service, to their platform. They'll sign a deal with anybody because they know that's more money for them in the long run. They'll sign that deal with PlayStation as soon as they possibly can because that's more money for them in the long run. But guys, these are just my personal thoughts. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong and maybe it won't even matter. Maybe the deal gets blocked. Who even knows at this point? I guess we'll find out soon enough. But for now, that's all I've got to say for this video. I want you to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about all this. Are you surprised? I mean, I was pretty damn surprised when I heard that Indiana Jones was an exclusive to Xbox and PC. Let me know in the comments. Were you surprised? Are you surprised by this news coming out today? Leave a comment down below. Let me know about all that. Leave a like if you liked the video. And if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing, considering that notification bell, because that helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel. And it helps promote me in the algorithm, helps push the videos out to more people. And I really, really do appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.